Ivan Burazin, so co-founder and CEO of Daytona. Prior to Daytona, and we'll get into that obviously in a bit, I founded a developer conference called Shift, and that's where we met. So I was just talking before we got on, is that you were talking at my conference a couple years ago. Now I'm talking at your podcast. So how the world turns, right? You never know how things turn. Before Shift, I actually started something similar to Daytona. So me and the founding team of Daytona also founded a company called Code Anywhere. And I'm actually super surprised as how many people, when I tell them that, they're like, oh, I use Code Anywhere. So Code Anywhere was way before its time. We started in 2009. It's probably the first cloud IDE ever. And the idea was to enable the spinning up development environments instantly and just start working. And here we are. We started Daytona 11 months ago, sort of on that similar vision, but on something absolutely new, having learned what we've learned and implemented into Daytona. So Daytona's development environment manager, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that more today.
Nice. Okay, so I think also in person you told me something like we are working on something. I remember this like 1 year and a half ago. So I got some vibes, some spoiler. So Ivan, when did you launch all of this?
We launched Daytona April. We started the company in April 2023, I think 2023. Yeah. And we started off with an enterprise product. So an on-prem enterprise product for large enterprises to solve their issues about scalability, security, and productivity of their developers, specifically about development environments. And so that's what we've been doing. We haven't even launched the product publicly. We have customers already, but it's basically the people that have reached out. We've been building with them and for them, and it's been going great. Some like Fortune 500 companies are already using it. And so what we're talking about today is we actually decided to pull out one piece of Daytona and make it into a single binary and give it out to the world 100%, open source, like Apache 2.0 open source. Like you can do whatever you want with it. And the reason is that we thought that development environments haven't been solved for the rest of the world, and we really think that it should be. So we launched that day before yesterday, and it's been going great. So
yeah,
yes, it's been a while, and here we are.
Yeah, and probably you didn't sleep since then, so that's why you don't know exactly how many days have passed.
Yeah, absolutely. So no one in the team has slept. Like engineering has not slept. Everyone else has not slept. This morning, Nicola, which is our head of growth, you talked to him, and he's like, oh, we launched like 4 days ago. I'm like, no, we launched 30 hours ago. And so,
you lose track of time. Yeah, but luckily you have good coffee, good espresso. I don't know if you're in Croatia now or not.
I'm in Croatia now, but I'm drinking Red Bull, so I have to tell you, like now, definitely.
Nice. Okay. So, Ivan, can you share your screen? Because before we do, of course, a proper demo, I would like to see how this launch has been going so far in the last 48 hours. Because you told about open source. So please share your screen so we have an idea also of the repository, and we show like how things are going. And meanwhile, I also would like to ask you like also the why all these decisions. Because you said, yes, we wanted to put this piece out of the world. I think I can I share the screen now? Let's try this one.
Yeah.
And so, Ivan, why open source? Why have you done this move?
Sure. I think we wrote a whole article on like why open source. Just the gist of it is that we think that development environments have not been solved. Like when I started developing, and I'm pretty old, especially in the developer space. So when we were developing way back when, it was basically you open up your IDE and you started coding and you could see a preview, right? And that was it. You just started coding. I think it's also similar, not different, but similar to video games. I remember when we used to play like all Nintendos or whatever cartridges, you just put them in and you started playing, right? Now you have to like download the game, log in, like go through the tutorials. Like everything takes so much longer. And we sort of want to get back to that, so that especially if you're a new engineer, but even if you're experienced and you just have to help someone out with, check out a PR and look at something or change something simple, you don't have to go set up the entire environment. And so that's why we decided that the world sort of needs this. And that's why we decided to open source it. And sort of what Daytona does, we wrote before this, like a whole do-yourself guide on everything that Daytona does automatically, like if you want to do it, you can, and that's how people do it today. But it's like 8 steps, and it's 5,000 words, and it took me like 35 minutes to get this development environment up and running. And so
And you know
I
what you're
think
doing. And you know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah. So people are going to take, they're going to take an hour. Like you can break every single step, right? And there's more, like it keeps going on. And so why would you have to go through all these things when you can absolutely just click one button and get it up and running? So the idea is, like, most people know what code spaces is from GitHub, which is basically one click and sets it up. And so we wanted that experience for everyone in the world, wherever they run their code. So this is not a cloud development environment type thing, just to be clear. So it can run on localhost, it can run on a machine that you have in your lab, it can run on DigitalOcean Droplet, on EC2, it doesn't matter. Like wherever you are setting this up, we want you to have the same experience. And I feel that people are happy with it. So here the repository is Daytona.io/Daytona, if anyone wants to try it out. I mean, we launched it 30 hours ago. We have 2.3 thousand stars,
Impressive.
which I think it's okay. We're trending on GitHub finally. So yes. And so, yeah, it's been going really well. And we had a contribution made, I think, an hour after launch, which was actually very, very surprising in a positive way. So yeah, it's been going great.
Nice. I see already 27 issues, 5 pull requests. That's probably a topic for another live stream, another event. But it seems that it's very alive. It's alive. I see 62 forks, which is like people are really interested into that. Like
that's a lot. I have to tell you, it was like 40 forks an hour ago. So I mean, I guess we got more forks, which is
and
great.
The growth is exponential. So we will see. But yeah, we will have time to brag and talk about like the trending things on GitHub and so on. But for now, it's really interesting. I had you gave me like a very quick demo. This is real, like just like 10 minutes. So this will be probably new even to me. So also, for sure, I have some questions. I've always been like a fan of Docker environments and all these sort of things. So yes, so let's. What do you think? Would you like to start? Something that you want to add before we start? You showed the process. That would be like without. Maybe we can show it after. And let's start with the demo. Do you want to show again Daytona.io and then we can start?
I mean, I can do a demo. Like demos are always good. I think it shows people sort of what's Daytona's in the house.
We have also the Daytona AI in the live stream. Nice, cool.
Yeah, IO, not AI, not an AI. IO. Yeah. So I mean, Daytona is. Where's the 1 second? So you can download the whole repo, but you can also, there's just a quick start. Just copy this, it'll get it up and running. It'll download a binary, and you'll get a CLI tool. And so what we really wanted to do is make it super easy. So there's no UI, but we wanted it to just be like one command. So Daytona create. Daytona create.
I'm biased, but I love this approach. I think that for me it's the best. But it's and then of course maybe someone will create like a UI or something.
I mean, we have a beautiful UI for our enterprise product, so we can always use that. But we just wanted it to be really simple because ideally you're going to work on your local VS Code or local JetBrains, and everything's proxy to local host. So the idea is that you don't even know you're using Daytona outside of Daytona Create. That's sort of like the idea for that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Last question before we start. What do you think is the problem that Daytona solves?
So there's a lot of things around development environments that people are trying to solve now with standardization. So there's things like Nix or dev container or dev file. So these are infrastructure as code standards for development environments. So this enables people to, instead of a README, you'll still have a README, but instead of that, you can have all your configurations, prerequisites, plugins for your IDE, depending on which one, inside of that file. And that file is part of a kit. So just for an example, if anyone uses a file for standardization, this has nothing to do with Daytona. This is sort of like a movement in the industry. Then instead of installing a new version of Node on my machine, and then you sort of check out the branch and it doesn't work anymore because you don't have that version of Node, I will just change the configuration file and say here, like, let's use this version. And then when you check out the branch, then you have that same version up and running, right? And so these formats that are coming to fruition now solve that problem of like, do we have the same environment or same prerequisites, I should say, installed? But there's still issues that are specific to the environment you're running on. So if it's on my machine, or if you're doing it on a remote machine, or if my machine is like an ARM versus an x64, like there's issues with all these compatibility things. And so having a Daytona type service basically creates an isolation or connects to another works develop environment remotely or locally that always works, and then fills it in with all these with your Git repository. It'll read a configuration file if it's there. It'll install all these things, and it'll take care of all the security of connecting it to your local editors and whatnot. So if you've ever tried to set up an environment that's not 100% local, and even if it is, you'll run into these little paper cuts. And if you get enough paper cuts, you can die. So that is sort of pain, and I can walk you through all of that in there. And so the most important thing is that we don't want to remove any of the complexity. So if you're an experienced developer, right, and so you want to know what's going on, you can still use like Daytona to create the development environment and then still see everything, right? We just do the automation and then you see everything. So there's services that remove the complexity, and then if you're an experienced engineer, you're like, oh, what happened here? I want to access these things, right? And so you can do that with us. So yeah.
This is very interesting because I think at giving like the opportunity to do whatever you want, it's very developer friendly. So the vibe that I have is that it's very developer friendly. So let's try it out, and that's it.
I have to say everyone in the company is a developer, and if they're not, they're learning to be a developer. So like 12 people, so it should be developer friendly. So that's the idea. Anyway, so I've installed Daytona, and so you can see the commands here. And basically what you need is just the Daytona to get up and running. And so you can also connect your GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket so that it'll list all of your repositories, or you can type in a custom URL that you like, a public one that you have access to. And so I'll just connect to my GitHub, my personal, or Daytona. Let's stick with my personal for this instance. Let's not get into company stuff. And so I'll pick sample TypeScript node application. So just an Astro application, actually. And also click this, pick a name. And so I have installed, I'll get into this later, we call them targets. So targets are, where do you want your workspace to be spun up, your development environment? Where do you want it to be spun up? There's basically, when you're spinning it up in Daytona, you have two things. It's like what, in the sense of the Git repository, and where. And so is it on my local host? Is it on remote? Is it on AWS? Is it where? So I just have connected right now localhost and AWS, and I'm using Docker as a provisioner. So I know, you're very much a fan of Docker. So we'll add more in the future, but right now it's just Docker. It's the only one that you have. And so
is locally or on?
I'll do it locally. Yeah. TypeScript node. Let's do sample demo gods. Here we go. For the demo gods, we'll call it demo gods. I'll do it local, spinning it up. So let's go.
Let's see. Creating project.
Yes, here we go. We got it. Okay, we got it.
Great.
Thank you, demo gods. So basically what it did is it spun up Docker container locally. It checked out the repository. It opened up my VS Code. It connected my VS Code to that Docker container, and everything will be working out of the box. This project specifically has a dev container inside it, so it's going to run through the entire dev container, install everything that we need, and you'll have a working application literally with one click, and obviously restarting the server, which I had to do this time.
Interesting. Now, this is very interesting because usually, for example, if you have to set up your development environment locally, it takes some effort, I would say. So usually, basically, you see, for example, this is, I think it's already like starting like a Docker Compose app, I think, under the hood. No, I'm not sure, but I think something similar. So if you have a Docker Compose in your project, it should start automatically.
Absolutely. Yeah. So absolutely. So
Interesting.
I'll just show you in a second. It uses dev container, and then there you can put the Docker Compose inside the dev container. We're also working to support Docker Compose without dev container, but that'll be in a minute. So it'll be done in a second. But I'm not doing anything, right? The only thing I did was Daytona create, pick the repository, and pick the location, right? And so now it's taking care of everything else. And depending on the size of your project, that's how long it takes, right? So this project, obviously, it's downloading, installing all these things, but I don't have to do anything. I can get coffee while this is up and running. And so also now you're going to notice that it's on localhost port 4321. So I zoomed this so you can see. So this is on my local host right now, and here's a tailwind button. Yay! So it's up and running.
Oh.
The application is running. It just works, right? So and so I can show you the Docker dev container file here. And is there, let me see what we have inside.
So I have one question. Was the dev container, was the dev container.json already there, or it has been?
It was already there. It was already there. Yeah. So you have to have, that's what does some of the magic that you saw here. Absolutely.
Okay.
And so let me show you also really quickly. So I got out, you can also change this. So Daytona comes with, although I do not prefer it, it comes with a built-in browser-based ID if you want, right? So I'll switch this really quick to a browser-based ID and spin up the same development environment. Where's DemoGods? Here's DemoGods. And so it will now download VS Code Server into that development environment, and it'll open it up your IDE with that. So starting, here we go. There we go. And so we have a web-based IDE here for the people that like it. And so I've mentioned that being one of the first...
A bit bigger. I don't know if you can increase it.
Yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
It's web. So being since we've been building Cloud IDE since 2009, I'm no longer a fan. Like, I've seen enough, but they are very useful. So we put them in there. So you absolutely do have it. And so let me also quickly spin up one on DigitalOcean. Let me show you DigitalOcean real quick, or how to do remote. So Daytona target set. So this is how you set targets. I'm not going to do the whole one, just sort of example. There's going to be multiple providers that you can use that can then connect to targets. Right now, there's only Docker, but there'll be providers like for Amazon or for GCP or whatever. And Docker provider, and I can set here, I have local in DigitalOcean Amsterdam, but you can also set a new target name. Just let me put test. And then you add your default image for the workspace, the IP of the remote host, the password or the SSH keys, whatever, and then it'll connect it to that. And then your target will be available when you create a new workspace. So let's say I have 10 machines or 2 or whatever, I can add all my machines in there. And so
I don't know if I'm getting it. Sorry. Yes. If I don't know if I'm getting it right. So basically, you can from this machine setting this project with public IP.
With a public IP, yeah. Or it doesn't even have to be public IP. It has to be an IP that you can access. Okay. So it could be in your house. So let's say you have a server under your desk right there, and it's a local IP address. If your computer can access that, it'll open it up.
Even from your local machine.
Yeah, even for your local network. Yeah,
interesting. Absolutely. This is great. Anywhere. For example, I think I don't know if this was on purpose, but for example, this is great for all the video creators. Like most of the times, for example, I do like a tutorial, and then I want to like showcase this. Sometimes I use something called Play with Docker, but 3 out of 5 it's like down, and of course it's down during the live stream. So usually I have to stop the demo because I don't want to do the whole deployment. But I think this is a very interesting tool to showcase, to do the extra step. Let's say between like deploying locally and deploying on DigitalOcean and AWS. You know, also what I really like, Ivan, and then I'll let you type.
Yeah, go.
Because I want to tell you like which I think are the strong points of Daytona. It just seems maybe it will sound stupid to you, but when you do a live stream, you should be careful of not showing your API key. You don't want to show your AWS environment. So in this case, if I am here, this setup, is protected from my point of view because I'm sharing the screen. So this is a very strong point, and I think I'll start using it. But you had to launch it, of course.
You have to launch it, of course. Yeah.
But,
I'm just spinning up another one on DigitalOcean, but I could have done locally. Doesn't matter, just to show. This is a different project. Let's try. We'll call it Hello Gods to make sure demo gods. Make sure it works. We'll see.
Once you started adding gods, everything started to
work. Yeah, absolutely. We had to add gods. So this one will start. Let's see, creating project. Here it is, starting Express. I opened up the Cloud ID. I mean, I can use the Cloud ID. It's fine.
So in one go, you open the IDE and it's also deployed.
Yes. Sorry, it opened up in a different window. So yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Terminal, new terminal, and so for this one, I have to just hit yarn and yarn start. And so what I'm going to show you right now is if I type this in. So every Daytona has a built-in reverse proxy. So I'm going to forward Daytona ports to public, and I'm going to make them public right now.
Okay.
And so what is going to happen is I'm going to get this URL right here.
Put it in the private chat here.
I'm going to put it in the public chat. I'm going to put it in the public chat.
No, because you can't. We have a spam filter for links.
Oh, okay.
So here.
Did you get
only
the chat?
I can put links.
Yeah.
Okay. First, I'll make like a spoiler, and then we'll have it here.
And so basically anyone can open up. I mean, this website is very simple, just hello world. But the point is from any machine, even my local host or anywhere that I don't have a public IP, I can preview it, send the preview link to anyone in the world. So Daytona does that automatically for you.
This is a great point. Great point for showcasing stuff, for demos, for it. I think that Daytona is like the missing link in the evolution of development.
I feel that it's missing. So when I work with like my team members and we're like doing an update of the marketing website or whatever, it's like, oh, can I see it? And then they have to like commit it, then push it to staging. Then you have to like take a look. Now it's like automatically I change 2 characters. I change the CSS. Here's the URL. Take a look. Oh, perfect. Right. So you can do that little sort of pixel perfect type things that you're trying to do and get the message across. So it can be to your project manager, to the marketing team, to a colleague, whatever. And so it costs you nothing. So we do this all automatically for every single Daytona development environment. You get this built in. I don't hear you. You're on mute.
I'm muting. I mean, we made this strike a couple of days ago. I've been a bit busy. Sorry for bragging about the 100K. So my life has been like a storm in the past 2 days. But I really want to try this out even after the live stream, because this can become, I don't know, I think this has the potential to become a standard. This is I'm doing a prediction. Today is the 8th of March, 2024. So let's see if in 6 months this will become a standard. Let's say, I told you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I feel that like, so Docker does a lot of things and do a lot of things well, but I feel like this is what is sort of missing. There's also Docker dev environments, like a beta feature that they're doing, but I feel it's missing all of these things. And so we decided to go out and build it and give it to the world, because I think that this is super interesting, and it costs, because the cost and the effort to install it is one command. So just install it, and then you just have Daytona create and everything else works. I hope that you're right, and it does, because I'm a standard for sure.
We'll see. In that case, this will become a short, and I'll reshare it.
But yeah, reshare it. Absolutely.
That's why I put ourselves in this format. I'm already prepared. And so, okay, so basically, you tried with your repository, I would say. So this is, but I think this was basically a default one on Astro 1, I think.
Yeah, default Astro something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. Okay, so this is nice. Maybe we can show again if you can 2 minutes the GitHub repository. I want to take a look even at the README maybe. So just to see there and so we
Of
can
of
also
our GitHub
show
or the project GitHub? Which one?
the GitHub, no, GitHub of Daytona, of course, not this one.
The Daytona. This one.
And we are getting some questions. Yes, so
Okay.
this is what I was looking for. The one that needs to be started. So first of all, here. By the way, we can see your starts, so go and start it because we can check like everyone who started. You can click off the starts and you can even make a screenshot. You should share it, like
What, this one here? Who's starring it right
yes,
now?
exactly. You
Yeah.
can see if someone started it for real or not. So
Yeah.
we know it's
We
not like a
know.
like.
We know if you didn't start. Yeah.
No, but I think it's great to be part from this since the beginning. You see that I see that you already have 10 contributors. That it's written in Go, which can be this very interesting. I think I'll check it out. And we have one question by Dylan, and then maybe we can showcase it, try something else. And okay, so how do you get credentials like npm auth into the dev container? So about the credentials, I think to set this dev container.
So dev container is not ours. Let's just open up real quick containers.dev. So containers.dev is just like one of the standards that we support right now. And so everything about dev container specifically is best to look there. So we just implemented exactly the same as Codespaces, and that's sort of what we wanted to do. So if you're using Codespaces right now, GitHub's product, and you use dev container, if you check out that repository in Daytona, it works absolutely the same way. So for all details about, just because the sake of the video is more towards like Daytona and how we're trying to solve this problem, not specifically dev container, because for us dev container is similar to like Nix or dev file, and so all of them are something that we really want to support and have working in Daytona.
Nice. Okay, cool. So one question is like, so the project it needs to have the dev container configuration before you can use it.
Oh, in Daytona you can use it without it, but there's more magic happens with it. So like if you check out any repo without dev container, it still works. What I'm saying is that we also support dev container in there. So that's it.
Okay, because for example, I don't know, in my repository,
there's no dev container. It'll still work. We can try one of yours. We can see what happens if you want. You can try.
Let's see, but this is a real test. It's not. We are not messing around now. So yes, we can try it out, or we can see. Let's see. I'm trying. We can try this one. I'll send you the link. So you can fork it. I want to see the process. I'm curious. We are really let's say like trying to get the demo gods a little angry today. But
really, we're trying really bad today for demo gods for sure.
This is a real test, and this is even if it doesn't work, you have my respect. Even I don't know what is worth more, but because we are trying to this, and so this is a set of CRUD API that I made with the Node. In Node and Postgres. So it's basically a Docker Compose file with two services. Let's try with this one. Then maybe I'll try the next one, the one with an SJS on my own. But let's start with this one because it's easier to spin it up. Because this basically uses SQLize the ORM, so it should also create automatically the database, the schema, the table, automatically when you run the service. So it should create the database and then the
all right. So I'm agreeing to do this, but you're going to tell me exactly what we're going to type. So I don't want to like mess anything up and end up.
No. There is a Docker Compose. Should do Docker Compose up. What?
So we'll do create.
That's it. But do you need to fork it? Now I'm curious. Do you need to fork it or like?
So I forked it already, but I didn't have to. So just to show you, I could have just pasted your URL in here. That's it, and it would have worked. But if you want me to, I'll do yours. Look, even without forking, I'll go
it runs on port 3000.
Okay, so let me get this up and running. Hold up. Let me do one thing first. Let me go back.
Let's see.
get it
But this is
back.
a real, as I said, this is a real test. So I'm curious.
This is live. He put me on the spot, and team at Daytona, don't kill me. And so if it doesn't work, so we'll
no, this is a real test. So it's I can be. So
Daytona create. So enter custom URL, and so we'll put your URL.
But I mean, usually you do the Daytona create on your own repositories, not on like a random repository over there. I mean, you can try, or you can. Do you think you can even try? But let's.
Here we go. So
let's.
It'll create the workspace for sure. It'll create it for sure. So we'll see sort of.
This is a battlefield test, I would say.
Battlefield test for sure.
It's not like it's not a soft test. Let's see what's the result. And this is like we have a couple of services. Let's see. I want to see.
So let's see again. So now it's connecting. We're creating the connection. Do I trust? Yes, I trust. So let me share. Let's make this a bit wider so you can see terminal, new terminal. Okay. Okay. So we have it here. All the files are here. The workspace is here. It created a Docker container. So all that is done. Okay. So what do you want me to do now?
Let's try to I don't know, to spin it up on the local or whatever you want.
Terminal.
Let's see.
Let me just try this.
No, because I don't know what exactly Daytona forward command does, but should that be the same of the app or something different?
Same. No, it's just an issue. I think it's on my port. It's probably going to work on you. I just had issues with. Okay, this is up and running. See how fast it is when it's on.
So it's fast. Yes.
Yeah. Done. Just give me 1 second. Let's try this. Daytona forward. Here it goes. There you go.
Okay.
And cool. So it's an issue with my local machine, and so always issues. That's why.
Okay.
And so I'm going to share this link with you. And
if you go, and
it runs.
Maybe you can try now to go. Let's try like the whole things. Go on also /users. So the port /users. Curious.
/users port.
Let's see what happens here.
Give me 1 second. Let me just try this.
No worries.
Yes, here.
What is watermelon cut? What does it mean?
Where do you see watermelon cut?
I don't know. I don't know what this mean.
/users is this?
Yes. Try. It's working. So this is working. This is working very well, because if you see users here, it means that it created the schema. So we have the.
So you connect to it. I sent you the URL there. You can try it on your machine now.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, this is super cool, Ivan. This is amazing for doing live streams. Let me try something now.
Yeah. Now you can share your screen. Show everyone.
I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Now this is getting really interesting now. I share my screen now. Share screen, entire screen. This one. So you spin up the project from your machine, right? Now here, I'll do this again because so it's easier. So let's start something new, because usually you have like so many tabs open. So you sent me the link that also you'll also share in the chat here, and I see this hello world, but this is from your machine. And if I do /users, I see the empty users. Now, since this is my application, I can try to populate this with a user, but from my machine. So let's see if this does work. So we have, I made, of course, this example before joining, but okay, so the URL is different. You see, I tried this before. So let's try this. This is Postman, by the way. First of all, let's do a get request from Postman. And of course, we get Move it.
Your screen, move it. Sorry, I
I
was
know.
muted.
I know. Okay. Nice. So, can you see? Can you
Yeah.
see it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, nice. So this is to get the users. Now let's try to create a user. So to create a user, you make a post request. We deployed a set of API. We can call this like Daytona, and then let's see. I'm excited. Let's see. So name and email. Of course, you should check the README, but let's see. User created successfully, and now
Yes, you can share my screen as well now, and it's there.
and now you can share the screen, and you can basically this is exactly even what I was looking for when I was doing exactly these tutorials. Because think about a person doing a video, doing a live stream, deploying the CRUD API, and then I want the people in the chat to test it.
Yeah.
So
And so
I
you can share
could
my screen now back, and it's live right on my screen. People don't see my screen right now.
Yes.
So here, there it is. I refreshed it, and it's updated to what you did. So live. And so it took us ignore the part that didn't work. So demo gods.
No, but this is
but this was like it took 10 seconds to get it up and running.
The thing is that even if we've been very unlucky with the ports, because of course we don't have much fantasy, but even if we had to do a small change, but this application, of course, was not like a production ready. It was a test. It was to explain CRUD API.
Just to notice one thing. So we didn't actually change the ports. Just when I spun up my second instance, I did Daytona forward port 3000. It saw that it was full on 3000, and then it moved it to a different port, so it's running on a different port completely. So it changed the port this time automatically. The first time I had an issue with my machine, obviously.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, but I think but I hope that this was clear. That basically, and now I would like to share even this one. So I'll share the link of this application in the public, and if you want, you can make a post request. Can I share my screen again? So if, for example, if you want to test it out, if you don't trust us, you can go on this link, and then on the /users, you should add the /users here. You make a post request with name and email, and you can try to make it like a post request, and let's see if this does work. I would say, of course, these are like very simple CRUD API, and so I don't know how they are like error prone. But if you try to do like the correct request, you should get something also with we have also the ID here and anything else. We have also the update, delete, but of course it's not the goal of this demo. But like what which really surprises me is that I can access. So you spin up your local instance, or it was DigitalOcean?
No, it's same. It doesn't matter if it's local or DigitalOcean. So but you can access it because I put here. Can you share my screen real quick so I can show people?
Yep.
So let me zoom in on this. It's because I put Daytona forward and I put public. So I made I opened the port to the public, and I can close this as well so that it's no longer public. So it's not that everyone can, but when you decide to make it public, then people can access it. And also the URL. The URL is also,
I think this is game changing for demos. Even for internal demos in projects, like you only do the demo to the project manager, or I think it's really improving the developer experience. Like I just improved my developer experience with this one because I was struggling. I can check the old live streams that I was deploying on my machine, and then it was hard for me. And to be honest, I didn't want to make the whole process of creating something, because creating the app itself, it required me like 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I didn't want like a 4 hours live stream. And you see, for example, even if you want to deploy this, as I said, on DigitalOcean, you don't need to share any API keys, secrets. AWS secrets, they are a nightmare. Of course, you're absolutely scared to share everything about you don't want to share your AWS account on a screen. But yes.
Yeah, Exactly. So that's sort of the reason. So, and because it has a built-in reverse proxy, it gives you this URL, which you can't figure out. So you're not going to break into this URL. Someone has to give it to you. It's like fairly complex, and you open at that point. And even if you're behind a firewall, you can share it with people. So no configuration, no domains, no nothing. Just here you go, test it, and then when you're done, you just kill the port forwarding service, and then it's closed. It's done.
It's very interesting, Ivan. Congratulations to you and the team for doing, I think, a very cool tool, and I'm impressed, I would say. So it's honestly impressed, and I think that of course, I'm a huge fan of everything which is Docker based, because I know the potential. Of course, here we have done a Node.js, but it really doesn't matter. The technology that I use, probably if I can do something, with a Rust web server next time. But it's we can even try it now. Probably this is how I will do my video, because it doesn't matter. So we are tech stack agnostic here.
Exactly.
Basically just running a container, right? This is exactly what I like, what makes me so excited about all this world, DevOps world, the containers, that because you did something with Astro, but we know that in 1 week we'll have a new JavaScript framework, and of course you can try Daytona with that new framework, so you can even
exactly. The idea is that, as you said, that it's a standard. So the idea is that because the learning curve is so small, it's just you type Daytona create and it should work on absolutely anything you do. So it doesn't do anything. It doesn't create a new environment in the sense of like a new way of installing thing. It's not a new technology. It takes all the technology that you use and just makes it simple with one button or one command, basically.
Nice, interesting, Ivan. I'd like to ask you a bit more about the enterprise edition. Like, what's the idea, and what would you have? You said something about a UI, but also is there anything else?
Oh yeah, but there's 3 layers to the Daytona's enterprise application. So in the sense of you have the developer experience part, which is very similar to what we have here, but there's also a UI. But on top of that, there's the whole orchestration of the development environments. So think your DevOps team, if you work on remote development environments, they have to set up EC2 instances for you. They have to manage them. They have to turn them down. There's all this work that they have to do. So Daytona does all the orchestration of that. And on top of that, Daytona does all the security, role-based access controls, making your chief information security officers happy and whatnot. So the security level and the orchestration level is something that is not part of this product, because this product is, it's super small. It's a single binary. This one is like a huge cluster that you have to install. And basically what we decided is that the DevOps automation and the security is something that large enterprises are willing to pay for, but the developer experience is something that we can give to the world, and that's sort of what we did.
It's very interesting, Ivan. And so, first of all, thank you for this. As I said, like Battlefield demo, I call them. Like it really shows the.
We have 2 more users.
The power
of a tool.
Nice. We need more. Come on. But yes, it's what else? What else are we missing? So we did your demo. We did this with a random repository. As you can say, it was really random because we got the same port. We would have never chose a repository with the same port. You can trust us. So what else? Something else that we miss? Like about, so you shown the GitHub repository. Anything else?
No, I'm just gonna say I think as far as Daytona, that there's a lot of work to do. So there's a lot of like issues. The roadmap is also
you can
up.
put the GitHub thing on the screen while we're talking.
While we're talking, where's GitHub? So much GitHub. And so there's a lot of work to do. Happy to have contributions from people. So next week, hopefully, we'll also have the JetBrains IDs in there as well, because right now it's just VS Code browser and VS Code local. So there's work to do there. And again, support, as I mentioned, for like Nix and DevFile and Flux and all these other standards is something that we're looking forward to make sure that everyone can use it as they've been using locally or as they were doing before, and now just have it super automated. That's sort of like what we're trying to get to.
Nice, nice. So if you are here in the live stream, I'm seeing you. So go here on the GitHub repository, because I really want this repository to be on top on GitHub, because we want to brag and stay in brag mode for at least 1 or 2 weeks. And then we will see. But I think it was 100 when you showed this to me, or we had like 1 star, 10 stars.
It was
I can't
it
remember.
was less. It was like 4 stars. Not even everyone in the team started. So it was just like 4 people started.
Yes, but it's interesting. And yes, so and you already have, as I said, 10 contributors. One more issue. There was 27, now there are 28, I think.
You're counting, yes.
we made one issue. So if you wanted to take a look, you say 1 hour ago, add contribution steps to readme, of course. As you can see, this project looks very fresh, very fresh to me. Like something, it gives me like fresh vibes, like something new issues, new contributors, new pull requests. So it's it's great. And I would like to test this also with different applications, as you can say, probably, but for sure I will use it, because I spin Docker containers like crazy. Like I think in all my tutorials.
Videos.
My only complaint is that you could have released this like one year ago, but I'm joking, Ivan, because I made many videos. I made many videos like this, but I will keep doing them and see how it goes. So it's very interesting. I did something a bit crazy. People even like some people were not happy. You can spin a Next.js application in a Docker container. It sounds a bit crazy, but you actually can. So technically, you can run a Next.js application using Daytona instead of Vercel, for example. This can also be an interesting concept. Like,
Right,
for example,
absolutely.
if you run a full, because of course, you know that the Vercel is the king for deploying an Next.js application. Of course, it's their product. But if you spin a full stack application, and maybe you want to stay in the same environment, it might be even interesting to try to spin the whole full stack. We'll do this like maybe in an upcoming video. Today we did just the CRUD API in the database, but I want to tell you that what you just saw, there were 2 services. So it was not just the application. We had a Postgres instance and the Node.js application. It was a Docker Compose with 2 services. It was not just a Node hello world. There was something, of course.
Some complexity.
There was the ORM creating the table. Otherwise, we could not have created like the users. There were like ORM creating the table, and this was, of course, it was persistent in the Docker volume on the Postgres. They were not storing this user in an array, so it was a real example. But I will show this again. Probably I need to check the docs again, because as you can say, like you showed this me like 3 days ago, three days ago, I think it was. And as you can see, I've been a bit busy, like bragging and telling people that I am cool. But
you got to 100,000, so that's bragging rights. So absolutely, it's bragging.
It's for once, it's okay. Ivan, did we forget anything? Anything else that you want to add? And
no, I think I'm good. I think we've been here, gone through all of it.
More than 1 hour.
Some people, yeah.
One question is why light theme on GitHub? This is the question that I have for you.
Sorry,
why are you using light theme or on your GitHub account?
That's what all of my team members. I keep everything light. I don't know why. For most things, it could be that I'm old.
So you should be banned from my live streams.
That's because I don't have dark theme.
It's okay. Nice. Okay, so let's go back on this mode. If you have any question, just you have time. Even if you want to tell us something, ask us something specific about the product, we can also reshare the screen if you want. And Ivan, what do you? Let me put me on this side, so it's better. Any final thoughts on this? Joking, of course. It's okay. This is a proof that like we accept everyone, even people using like theme here. So it's yes. Ivan, so I have one more question, which is like for people who have seen this demo, what do you think are like the next step apart from going on GitHub and starting the repo? Like what do you think is the best place to go maybe after, if you're curious and you want to test it out?
So absolutely, most of it is there. Documentation is lacking, to be honest, outside of the README. So most of it is in the README. There's so many things to do, and so we haven't done much there. Next week we'll update that, but the vast majority of things are in the README, and you can figure that out. Obviously, we're on Twitter as well, or X, whatever they call it now. And also, whoever's watching it live, we do have a Twitter Spaces. Hopefully, Francesco, you'll join as well, which is about how
I
to
will.
launch an open source project and get it in trending. So, I mean, we know what we did, so we'll share it. And we'll also talk to other people in the space and sort of talk about open sourcing in general, because we knew nothing a year ago when we started doing this to open source it at this level. And there's a lot of learnings that I'm happy to share.
Nice. Interesting. I want to find the link of the Twitter space, and hopefully I'll be there. I can promise, but I'll try. I'll try to show up. It has been a long day for me, but it's I will show up. I will show up. So this is the space, open sourcing our baby, making a dev tool public. But yes, so far it's going very well. So yes, 5K and 10K soon, I would say.
I hope so. Hope so. Fingers crossed.
Let's see. No, because once you're trending, it can, you just need to keep going and doing cool stuff. Ivan, thank you so much for showing this in a very, let's say, natural way. I saw the potential. I can say that I think this is honestly a honest thought. I always give honest thought. It's something that it feels like a tool that was missing. When you have the tool that it was really missing out there.